Hello everybody, this is Kay and thank you for joining me here today on my channel, Gigi's Paper Treasures. I have a couple of flip through videos or journals I'm going to go through real quick today. These are going to be available on my Etsy shop, so I will put the link to that below. But first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for subscribing. If you're new, I ask that you do subscribe and I appreciate that. I have not posted in a hot minute. I've just been so busy this fall with craft shows and other activities that I just haven't been able to get around to recording a video. But I wanted to do one today to show you a quick flip through of these two lovely journals that I've made recently and that will be available in my shop. So I'll start with this one. This is going to be a pretty quick video because I just don't like to make long videos. But this is a cloth covered, kind of a soft, flexible cover journal with Christmas theme, holly and poinsettia going on. I used a gold kind of hook and bar clasp for the closure. This is actually made out of a placemat that I picked up from a thrift store. It has one pretty chunky signature in it. I did adhere the closure to the back with this kind of large label and some embroidery thread and a little poinsettia image there to kind of hold this so the whole thing wouldn't fall off when you open it. I've got a couple of pockets here with my usual note and some tags. I've used some Christmas scrapbook paper throughout, but I've also used, my tea-dyed papers, tissue paper. This is a little baggie made out of brown paper, and it's a tuck spot. There's plenty of space for writing. I've done stenciling throughout with some kind of Christmassy red ink. This was a paper doily that I put on this page to dress it up a little bit. Some music paper, graph paper. This is a pocket that I made out of some graph paper, stenciling on the background. This is a little tag in an envelope window. I'm going to fix that, put that back together later. Craft paper. This is some stationery paper that has kind of a texture to it that I picked up at a thrift store. I've done sewing throughout to dress it up. A little vellum pocket here that I have some items tucked into. And it's also a little tuck spot on this fold over part here. I love the sound of that tissue paper in there. This is some kind of mint green colored vellum scrapbook paper pocket. This is the middle of the signature that I created two large pockets out of. Keep going. A little die cut with some images just to dress up that page a little. Music paper. Here's the other half of that vellum envelope. Again, this one has the little tuck spot here. This is a little notepad. I just have this clipped on with a paper clip and a little ribbon on top. Nice pretty picture of a poinsettia, or actually that's amaryllis. I keep saying poinsettia. I think there are poinsettias throughout here, but that is an amaryllis, and as this is too. This tag in this large pocket. The other half of that doily page. And then the back of the first page of the signature. It's a big pocket. And this is a magazine image or a book image that I turned into a little kind of coin envelope. And I've got a little journaling notepad with a few pages tucked into that. And then the back cover, I folded it over and made a pocket. And I've got kind of a little trifold folio in here, full of pockets and full of more ephemera. Little tags on this side. Tags and tidbits. Okay, so there's that Christmassy one. And now I'll show you this one. This is not really a Christmas one. It's just kind of an everyday one. This beauty is a hardcover, fabric covered. I have one of those little laser wood cut images, Imagine, on the front, and I just kind of layered it up with some different papers and fibers and appliques here on the front. I made a dangle, and this is a removable part of this is a removable dangle here with some metal components and some fibers just to make it a little more interesting of a dangle there. It's got a ribbon closure. I used some of this kind of cream colored organza ribbon. It just runs underneath the whole thing and comes out the sides, so you tie it in a bow. A little vellum pocket with a stamp image on the inside there of a butterfly. Kind of a layered pocket on the inside. This is the first signature. And again, I've used a variety of papers and some digitals. And I've sewn around some things. Here's a little fold-over pocket with some interesting items. Plenty of writing space in this one. Here's a bookmark I made with vellum on top of some cardstock, and it's got writing space on the back. It's kind of a little laminated tag topper, and I just have that clipped in here at the bottom. We're in the second signature now. I have a series of pockets on this page, 1, 2, 3, kind of staggered pockets full of all kinds of goodies. More writing space, writing or art journaling, whatever the owner of this journal decides to do. Here's a little kind of library pocket thing with a tag in it and a window. In this tuck spot. This is just like a little collaged piece I put on the edge for a tuck spot. As you can see, I have plenty of writing space. The edges of the lace pages are all kind of adorned with 1 or 2 little gold charms. Here's an envelope pocket. It's actually a double, and I'll show you the other side in a minute, that I've turned into a window. That's some Edith Holden book page in the background. And a tag here. So we are in, let's see, the third signature now. Here's another little side pocket, and this is an envelope that I've covered with some sheer kind of fabric. I think this came from a scarf over some book page, and a couple of little tidbits tucked inside, a little notepad, journaling card. Tea-dyed paper, craft paper, graph paper. Here's the other side of that little window envelope kind of folio that I made. Pocket window, whatever you want to call it. Okay, fourth signature. This is one of those Turkish map folds. Just kind of folds up like that, or down, I guess. It's kind of neat because these you can like tuck little pieces of paper in there, or you can make it a hidden kind of secret journaling spot. I forget where these digitals are from that I used throughout here. I will try and figure that out and link that in the description box below as well, where I got these digitals from. Another one of those kind of collage-y tuck spots with one of those layered scrappy notepads. This is kind of some parchment paper that I printed on. And last but not least, signature. Here's a belly band made with a little scrap of that same fabric that it's covered with. And this is actually a piece of tatting that I picked up at a thrift store and added to that belly band. And I've just got one of my little handmade paper bags tucked in there with another little kind of scrappy notepad in there. So really you could tuck something under here as well as under this. It's kind of a double belly band in a way. I just added kind of this little element to the edge of this piece of craft paper just for interest. And we are getting to the end. Another little tuck spot. And then on the inside of the back cover, I have another one of those little vellum pockets that I stamped on the inside with. And a journaling card that I made out of some kind of thin chipboard. It's not really cardstock. It's more like a very thin chipboard, but I backed it with some lined paper. Added some of my scraps of strips, and I think this is Tim Holtz, one of his frame layers that I put on there as the focal point, and that just tucks into there, and sewed all the way around, obviously, with some fancy stitching. Thank you so much for watching this flip through today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing and supporting me that way, and I wish you all a blessed Merry Christmas.